ASL Prime League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second match of the day. We got two wonderful players here for you in the ZVP Extravaganza, Group C of the ASL Prime League, one of which is this guy in the bottom left, an ASL veteran. He's representing Team Spectre. It is...
Team Spectre, Arthur.
Did it again.
His opponent, spotting down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, representing Team MYI, just because Tempo already did it, so I might as well, and also a former ASL appearance, or a player. It is...
My Insanity, Sacsri.
I see. All of these players have appeared in ASL 3 times at least, but Arthur, he's like the OG.
Experience, man.
Yeah. But the problem, of course, not the problem, but like he's been here so many times. And a fun fact that Saber dug up is that he hasn't been to the playoffs since Season 2. So he might be the veteran, but yeah.
Yeah. But, you know what? There's one thing about Arthur that I love about his playstyle, and that's that you can never count him out because he's so cheeky with, you know, his cheeses. And I will admit also, Arthur is good enough. Like, you can't get by on 100% cheeses and also have a reputation as being a cheeser without having some ability to do macro games. I mean, for example, we even saw Hitman demonstrate in WCS America recently that, hey, you know what? Having some good macro, also very helpful. But, like, Arthur is a player that can do some of those macro games, but I really don't think, like, versus a player of the level of Sacsri, I mean, we just saw Sacsri defeat Journey in insane macro games. Like, you do not want to be bringing the games to, like, the 4, 5, 6 base stage. You want to maybe be taking it to, like, 2, 3 base, like, whether you're a normal player, but,
I was going to say, yeah, speaking of who can be the cheesy one, it looks like, Sacsri was looking to open up in such a fashion as he did go for that 14-14, but then his Overlord scouted the Cybernetics core, and then he dropped his hatchery. So I'm wondering if scouting the Cyber core allowed him to realize that it was a gateway into core and then Nexus, and then he decided not to make a bunch of lings. But Arthur did go for that Nexus first. He was going for that.
There's more Zergans, though. There's more Zergans coming out, though, and this is actually so important. So it might not seem like, oh, Arthur has taken, like, no damage so far right now. It's the fact that that pylon has not gone up. It almost guarantees that this next big wave of Zerglings is going to get an almost guaranteed cancel off on that Nexus. Unless somehow, through some miracle, Arthur has the most magnificent micro of his life and the Photon Overcharge is able to be used. But even then, that Photon Overcharge is not coming for another 30 seconds. Is Arthur even going to realize that this is coming?
Even 10 more lings as well. Like, Sacsri is going full out on this. He might even be going for the win. But Arthur decides to drop 2 gateways very, very smartly. And here come the lings, though. That Nexus is going to finish up here, Fear Dragon, so I'm wondering if he's just going to go for it. Yeah.
Does Arthur use the Photon Overcharge on the Nexus? I mean, it could kill off a couple more Zerglings. It buys him a little bit more of an opportunity to get up the next Nexus. Right now, he's just moving down with a Stalker and Sentry. It's a very, very risky thing to try and go for that, but I think at this point, you just gotta take what you can, but oh my god, more Zergans come in, and they're gonna be able to get a surround on the Sentry. He's gonna be able to take that out, as well as maybe even the Stalker. Stalker does manage to get back, but oh god, there's so little over here for Arthur.
Yeah, that was a big mistake there by putting that Photon Overcharge right at the end. I feel like if you're gonna commit to it, you might as well do it, but or early as possible. But I don't think he realized that all of those lings were going to come and follow up. I think he thought that was the end of the aggression from Sacsri. Yeah. So
I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately for Arthur, he did waste that energy, but he does have 4 gateways to work with, or 3. One of them finishing up, and another one, too, that will be finishing.
It's a funny thing, Tempo, because, you know the old saying, you know, the cheesiest thing a cheeser could do is not to cheese at all? Well, the cheesiest thing you can do to a cheeser is to cheese.
I know.
And, I mean, Sacsri, oh my god, Sacsri even finds this proxy pylon. Gonna be able to take out the probe, gonna eventually be able to surround these zealots, because they're not up against the wall, so he gets a pretty cost-efficient engagement over here, and is gonna be able to take out the pylon. This is a really, really big deal. Arthur is lacking in expansion, was looking to put on pressure, loses 2 of his warp fins off of his 1 base.
Yeah, he's in so much trouble. Yeah, the fact that that Nexus hasn't started again, and now he's about to start it, his whole plan is totally behind. Like, it's just screwed. He has 5 gateways that he can't really utilize at all. Bunch of sentries, though, which is really nice. And if he gets these lings for free, that would be great. But, you know, this is not going Arthur's way. He would have loved to have that Nexus up instead of those gateways. And he also would have loved to do damage with that attack, as opposed to just now sitting on it. It's like when you make a bunch of units of Zerg and then you can't even attack with them, where they could have been drones instead.
Well, for now, yeah, those Zergons are going to be useful just for trying to keep Arthur honest, making sure that he gets to be a little bit wary about how he moves around with this kind of sentry army. And in the meanwhile, Sacsri can just kind of play a little bit of greedy behind it, but he's not playing super greedy right now, Tempo. He's getting up roaches and he's getting up burrow.
He is. He knows that Nexus is very, very far behind. And getting Roach Burrow is going to be such a great idea here out of Sacsri, as it is mainly sentries. And he hasn't even gone for the lair yet, has he? No. So yeah, this is like the least greed, even though he has a 3rd base. Doesn't necessarily mean...
Well, I love this little bit of pressure with the Mothership Core from Arthur, because not only is he seeing the spine crawlers over there, but he may get an opportunity to see some of these roaches. No, not going to be able to see him as he moves around, just tries to get a scout off and see, like, okay, is there a 3rd expansion? Because this is going to be the first little vision that he has of it. But oh man, this is a very, very still strange situation for Arthur. I feel like he's doing an okay job though, and even though he's behind, I feel like, you know what, some magic from Arthur. Like, he's getting up the Immortals, he's gotten up a robotic facility. As long as he can get up an Observer to deal to Burrow, he's got a shot.
Yeah, I think
a strange game.
Yeah, it's very strange in the sense where, like, I mean, Sacsri's playing it super safe, you know, and even though he didn't have to deal with an attack, he then goes and he uses it now. You know, he made the roaches, and it's kind of like this game of ping pong, right? Where it's like, I just made units, I want to use them, and then he's gonna try to do it. Whereas Arthur did the same thing earlier, but it just didn't work out for him. And yeah, with the force fields, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, he's also got a decent amount of sentry energy built up, and that Mothership Core just putting on enough harassment that Sacsri doesn't really feel like going to that. I'm kind of surprised Sacsri has a single Zergling burrowed over by a potential, or most likely 3rd expansion for Arthur, but it's really weird, because he has 1 Zergling up in, like, the top side above Arthur's natural expansion that's burrowed where the Nexus would go. The other one is not burrowed where the Nexus would go. I don't think it would block it, would it?
No, that wouldn't block it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny spot, maybe just to see, like, a move out, but...
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, you will see the probe moving out, yeah. And boom! Look at that. Nom nom nom. Eating up that probe up. And that's actually nice, because if Arthur were to expand there, I wonder... it's not like a Terran putting massive amounts of pressure there. You know, like when you're a Protoss player, it's a little bit more different.
I almost wish that Sacsri got some Banelings at this point, because, geez, that couple of burrowed Banelings right there. Now I'm just imagining him blowing up on the sentries, but...
That would be awesome. Yeah, this would kill Arthur. Like, there's no Observer.
Yeah. I mean, he's so sentry-based right now. He is really relying on the sentries to make this kind of push-out happen. And he's got a couple of Immortals as well, but, well, we'll see how well this goes. There's a lot of Zerglings that are up on the top, the north side, and I think that they could have gone around for a flank, but it looks like he just wants to pull them back over these spine crawlers. He wants to play it a little bit safe.
Yeah, Roach Burrow movement is going to be done soon. Hydras are on the way, as well as a lot of these lings. Yeah, I think you're right about using the Zerglings on the other side would be amazing. But maybe he'll just use it as a buffer for the Hydras if they try to go up the ramp. Oh, he shows the Burrow movement, though. Before, he could have surprised a lot of them, but yeah, that's a lot of Immortals here. One of them is going to go down, though.
Yeah, one of them gets force fielded into the Zerg army, actually. A little bit unfortunate over there for Arthur. He still has 2 of the Immortals alive, and they have everything in their health except for their shields, but oh, Roach Burrow comes in again. Is Arthur even going to be afraid of this, though? There's not that many roaches. Oh, there's
really
enough roaches to do that, though.
Yeah, he's just keeping them active, popping a lot of those units that he can. He took out another Immortal, so there is only 1 left. And now Arthur's going to try to use some micro maybe to save that last one. He's actually saving every unit that he tries to, but yeah, it's just a little bit too much here for Sacsri. You're just gonna try to like micro every single unit with the warp prism, like, oh, you're low, let's bring you back. But yeah, that's a lot of damage, man. Alright everybody, welcome back here to the ASL Prime League Season 5. We are in Group C. And we're in game number 2 here in this round-robin format. This player, Spawning, actually lost his first game. Can he tie it up as far as the whole, I would say, group score goes? It is going to be that Red Zerg player.
My insanity, Sacsri.
And his opponent, spawning over in the right-hand side of the map, the teal Protoss player. Opening with a build that's warming my heart a little bit. It is
Team Spectre, Arthur.
Okie dokie. Well, maybe he's been watching you ladder a bit here, Fear Dragon.
Yeah, man. Okay, just a moment ago, ladies and gentlemen, I was telling Tempo, you know, I love Bridgehead because all these Zergs trying to play cheeky on it. Okay, wait a second. Let's Saber, a lovely observer Saber, also runs the ASL. Can we get the camera panned down to the bottom left-hand corner of the map?
What in the heck?
So those who are not familiar with this map, this is not your natural expansion, nor is this your third expansion. This is sometimes your fourth, but honestly, oftentimes it's your sixth expansion. Like, this is a very, very strange location. Take this.
This is so meta.
Arthur, the thing about this map is it's known for proxy hatches outside of your own destructible rocks and your in-base. So Arthur's going to see there's no natural expansion. You have your spawning pool going up, but you probably should be, have taken like it's so late that you must have taken a hatchery. There's a very good chance that he just goes straight to his destructible rocks and looks around. But oh, Arthur, is he going to know? Is he going to scout it?
No way. He's actually going to go scout it, yeah. So
wow.
I guess the first thing that he was thinking was not going to be that proxy hatch. That would have been something else, though. The way that Sacsri was trying to sell that, I think when he canceled the gas, maybe it kind of threw it off, but I have no idea.
Tempo, if I was Arthur, and this is obviously Arthur's a much better player than me. When that pylon, I would have let that pylon fish and started building like 4 photon cannons to cut the 2 bases in half. And then I would have started, like, all-inning off of 1 base. Oh.
Yeah, that would have been pretty crazy. I think, like, now, though, Arthur kind of in that weird spot. I really thought that he was going to kind of freak out and say, oh, man, what if it's a proxy? But, no, it worked out perfectly fine for Sacsri because he didn't get kicked.
I think that if you look at the vision for Arthur, he actually checked the rocks very, very early on. I think that his probe scout path was to first immediately go check the other side of those rocks, and then he went to scout. So he felt relatively comfortable that it wasn't going to be a proxy. They didn't just like miss it because the hatchery or the drone came out like a little bit later than his probe got there.
Mm-hmm. And even like the timing of it all too is like, wait a minute, I see your gas in your pool. That would have definitely been there by now, but there's so many mind games that can always be happening.
Well, this Zealot moving out against 9 Zerglings. This is I don't know, like, on one hand, like, he's got to do something about these Zerglings coming off the rocks, but on the other hand, these Zerglings can kill the Zealot.
Yeah, very easily, too, and even though there is going to be no speed, that Zealot, I think, is going to die eventually. He's going to try to get some good damage here done, though. Get the micro, though, going to pull away those weakened Zerglings. Arthur not focus firing, and Sacsri does not lose a single lane.
Yeah, ends up losing some of the Zerglings, though, to the Mothership Core as you're microing one place, you lose a little bit of micro on the other side. Now, one thing I really have liked what a lot of Protoss players have been doing is a sort of an adjustment. If their opponent starts to knock down those rocks, if they get a little bit softened up, you know what? Just knock them down. Maybe create a little bit of wall off early on or leave them up for the first part. But if you decide to go for the third, then wall off, do a complete wall off on the other side. And, Arthur might need a complete wall off with a force field over here. There we go. Sentry getting a little bit low on health. But, yeah, you completely wall off this other side, and you just expand to that third that's right outside. It becomes a very, very natural expand point. And you're going to be expanding, especially with these spawn locations. You are almost creating a kind of semi-distant proxy pylon for any aggression you do with that third expansion for Sacsri. So close.
Man, this is bringing me back to those days of Vani Research Station where you do have that in-base expansion and then you decide never to get it.
This is bringing me back to almost like Steps of War, man. Between those 2 third expansions, like that,
yeah, they're like
to be taken.
Man, well, let's see exactly how it plays out. I wonder how Sacsri is going to be playing it out. You know, we saw him do a really cool roach style, like early Ling speed into roaches, into burrowed roaches, and then hydras to kind of finish it off and deal with the immortals and sentries. But this is going to be a little bit different. You know, he has the opportunity to do very different style, as it was a Forge Fast expand, and he didn't get that kind of early economic damage.
Yeah, this really does start to look like, and of course could always change up, but it really does look like, you know, +1 weapons being finished up, Twilight Council finishing up. It looks like it's going to be a +2 Blink Stalker attack. Pretty tried and true sort of thing for a lot of Protoss players to do, but normally you do try and take a 3rd expansion behind this, just because you have to wait quite a while for +2 weapons to finish up, and you still have to wait for Blink anyways, so could be seeing that 3rd taken down on the low ground.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do it. Will he go for that +2, or will he go for the Sentry Stalker style? There are a lot of Sentries already, but it's not going to be like the 3-base one, it seems like, because Arth is already moving out onto the map.
Oh, man. Sacsri, I think Sacsri smells it, though. Like, look at all the Zorgons that were just produced. He's got +1/+1 also on the way, so... Yeah, the +1 weapons for Arthur is going to be really, really nice for now, and eventually he'll have Blink, but if he stays too long, he's going to be falling a little bit further behind in the upgrades, and look at this, he's going to knock down the rocks. There's not actually an expansion over here. This is
exactly.
This might be a little bit hard. Look at this with Sacsri, look at these spine crawlers.
So many spine crawlers, and it's going to be Roach Ling with upgraded melee. So the sentries will negate the Lings to a certain extent, but depending on how long they wait to place down the force fields, get through these spine crawlers.
Well, first he's got to deal with these Zerglings on the other side of the map.
Whoa!
That knock down the forge. Going after the cannon now. I mean, there's not a lot of surface area over here. Sacsri needs to target fire down the individual buildings so that the units are being effective right now. And he manages to break through at the same time that Arthur is managing to break through.
He is. The 3 spine crawlers do finish. Drones are off the line, but so much damage is going to get done economically here to Arthur. Also means that there is not going to be that warp in.
Oh, man.
Now the Roaches and Lings are here. He could recall, but he's not reacting.
Arthur's getting cleaned up. He's on the other side of the map. I mean, he's throwing down some nice force fields. Maybe with some good Blink Stalker micro, he's going to be able to survive a little bit longer. But, I mean, these Zerglings, as you mentioned, on the other side, inside of Arthur's natural expansion, have done so much damage. GG gets called. Sacsri.
This guy's a beast.
Wow. 2-0 on Arthur.
This guy is a beast. He just goes out and wrecks the group.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.